I don't know about you, but I want to move forward. You know, the chair of the Republican Campaign Committee was asked, what would you do if you went back to Congress? And he said, we're going to do the exact same thing, pursue the exact same agenda as before we took office. Now think about this. Their policies resulted in the worst economic crisis since the 1930s, and they want to go back to that exact same set of policies. Does that make any sense to you? I mean, it'd be one thing if they had kind of gone away and gone off into the desert. You know, there's some desert here. They could have gone off into the desert. They could have meditated and thought about, boy, how did we screw up so bad? And they felt bad about it. And then they came back and they had some new ideas and they wanted to cooperate with us. But that's not what happened. They want to do the exact same things they did before. And it's not as if we didn't try them. We tried them for 8 years and it didn't work. So why would we buy that snake oil now? Look, this is, imagine that the economy is a car. And the Republicans drove this car into a ditch. And it was a really deep ditch. And somehow they were able to walk away from the accident, from the scene of the crime, but they left the car down in the ditch. So me and Harry and Dina and Shelley, we put on our boots and we went down into the ditch. We had to rappel down, it was so deep down there. And when we got down there, it was muddy and dirty and it was hot. We're sweating, there are bugs everywhere. But we had to make sure we get that car out of the ditch, so we start pushing and we're pushing and we're pushing. And every once in a while we look up and lo and behold, up on the hill there's the Republicans. They're just standing there, sipping on a Slurpee, fanning themselves. And we'd say, why don't you come down and help? And they'd say, no, and then they'd kick some more dirt down in But that's okay. We kept on pushing, we kept on pushing. Finally, we get this car up on level ground. Finally, we get it out of the ditch. Now, the car's banged up. It's banged up and it's got a bunch of dents. It's got to go to the body shop. It needs a tune-up, but it's pointed in the right direction. The engine is still turning. And suddenly, as we're about to get in the car, we feel this tap on our shoulder, and we look back and who is it? It's the Republicans. And they say, excuse me, we'd like the keys back. And we got to tell them, I'm sorry, you can't have the keys back. You don't know how to drive.